we'll give it just a minute and then we'll get started. Tonight's live is pretty short and sweet, so that's helpful. Hi, Dawn. All right, well, we're going to get started. For those who are new here, my name is Julia Schwery. I'm one of the educational designers on the fabric side of things for ThermOWeb, and tonight I'm going to share with you how to make a memory sweatshirt. Of course, this could be put on anything. It doesn't have to be a sweatshirt, but we're going to go get started. I'm going to go over to my other camera setup. So let me get that taken care of and I'll meet you over there. Okay. So just a real quick image. We are going to make memory sweatshirts. And for this I chose Mom. Of course, this can be made for anyone, aunts, sisters, grandma, Nana, whatever you want. It's really quite up to you, and it's really a nice way to remember some really cute clothing. I know my girls had so much cute clothing, and you just don't know what to do with it. You don't want to give it away. There's ones that you have memories of. Not these in particular. I'll be honest, I bought these. The ones my girls have, they're all stained up because they're years old, and I just wanted to use something for this. But it's really nice. I've got ones that are saved that my oldest daughter, who's now 10, I remember it's what she walked in for the first time. I kept that one, or, I kept the first item of clothing I ever bought her, which was really special for me. So let's get started. So for tonight, you are going to need a couple things. For this project, I am using HeatnBond Soft Stretch, and I'm using Lite because I will be sewing it. Tonight, we're going to not do any sewing. You really don't need to sit and watch me do a satin stitch. It takes a long time, but we are using HeatnBond Soft Stretch Lite. I'm also using Pattern and Stencil spray adhesive, as well as, this is very important, especially when using these soft, very stretchy baby clothes. Or you could even, any clothes really. It could be, you can make something for a teenager from maybe some of their favorite t-shirts. This is kind of a, maybe instead of a t-shirt quilt, which can be overwhelming to some, you can make them something with just some of their favorite t-shirt pieces. So, and then this is very important. It's a tearaway heavyweight stabilizer. So this is very important to help stabilize your stretchy baby or t-shirt fabric and your sweatshirt. So we're going to start. First thing you'll need to do is, of course, cut up your materials. And I already have one, just a little scrap piece here cut up. These little onesies I got actually go a long way. I can do a lot more with them. And then you'll cut the piece of soft stretch Lite that you need for each piece. And this one's a little big, so I'm going to trim it down. And turn my iron on to medium heat. Actually, it's high heat for soft stretch Lite. So let's put it up to high heat. And I really like this iron. It's an Oliso. It's one of their M3 Pro, I believe it's what it's called. It has an on and off button. So I can, when I'm going over to sew and I know I'm not going to be pressing anything, I can just turn it off for a quick moment and then come back over, and you can see it's lighting. That means it's heating up, but it's really quick. It's almost there. All right. So for this, it's really quick. So you just hold it on for about 5 seconds until it's bonded. And you're just pressing, we're not ironing anything. And we're gonna let it cool. Now at this point, this is where your options are endless. You can print out, you know, your lettering that you want and trace it. You could have traced it on to this before you press it as well. I actually suggest that because it's kind of see-through. So if you're tracing your lettering, you do that, but make sure you print it in reverse. The letters I'm using tonight in reverse, they're identical, so it doesn't matter. You can also use a die cutter. This works great on a die cutting machine. That is what I have done. I have already cut out the letters I'm going to use with my die cutter. And the one I'm using, if you really are wanting to get one, I suggest looking at them now because they're not making their dies anymore. And I believe they're all like 50% off. So before they run out and just don't sell them anymore. And that is Crafter's Edge. But I'm not affiliate with them anymore or anything. So that, you know, just putting it out there though, if you've been thinking about getting die cutting letters and it, right now is the time to get them before they run out, and they're like, I believe, all 50% off. And they work with most die cutting machines, I believe. Anyway. Okay, so I already have them all cut out, so I don't need to do anything with this. This was just for an example to show you. Like I said, this project's really quick tonight. So I'll stick around just to see if there's any questions at the end, as I can't see anything on my computer right now since I'm over here. So what needs to happen next is you need to grab your garment piece. And I have another nice soft sweatshirt. Let me move this over out of the way. And before, let's see. It's a big sweatshirt and I just have a small space. I like big sweatshirts. All right. So I measured down about 6 inches for this. So the center of my sweatshirt, I can actually kind of see the line right here. And I'm going to measure down about, no, not 6 inches, 3 inches, I'm sorry, 3 inches. And I'm only doing 3 letters, so I know that my O is just going to go right there in that middle spot. Let me put this in here. And then this paper just peels right off. I bonded these earlier today to have them ready, and you see it's still, I mean, with the soft stretch, it's still little, it can still stretch on you, so it's be very careful. But that's the nice thing about the soft stretch Lite, is it works with your fabric. So when you're wearing it, it doesn't feel stiff or anything. We're gonna bring it down about 3 inches, and I got about halfway through. And I'm gonna bond this, and then I'll add my 2-letter M's. And you hold it for about 20 seconds on high heat. And then to try to keep it nice and even, we're going to put our two, I'm going to do it opposite from my other one, like this. And you know, you're not subject to letters. You can do shapes, anything. All right, so we'll bond these, take about 20 seconds on each one. And then if you notice in the description, there's a link to the blog that will have the list of all the materials there as well. And the links to where to find them at. Okay. Now this next part, like I said, it's very important that you use some kind of stabilizer. For this, since I am using a satin stitch. So for those who might not know, a satin stitch is a very close stitch. And I'm still a novice at it, so yeah, my handiwork is still a work in progress, but a satin stitch is really close. Some people do like a really close zigzag. Some machines actually have a satin stitch, but it makes it really close together and it keeps that fabric on there. And because we're using the soft stretch Lite, we have to sew it down or these will eventually peel up. They're not a permanent bond. All right, so how we're going to attach this is I am going to just lightly spray. Let me get my board out here just so I don't get any spray on anywhere else. Spray some pattern and stencil adhesive. This will then stick to the inside of the sweatshirt, but it peels right off. So we're just going to add just a small amount. And then I'm going to put it up underneath and make sure that and I made it much bigger than my letters so that I know that I will get it to cover the whole place. You know, it sticks, but it peels right up. So it's nice and you can easily adjust where you need it. So my paper ends here. My paper is right here, up here, and all the way down here. So I've got the whole thing covered. So it's really a quick project. It's really, I mean, you can throw one together real quick for anyone. So at this point, I would go in and I would stitch. Like I said, you can use a satin stitch. You can also, I would just use something really close together, like a zigzag. If you wanted to do a blanket stitch, you could do that as well. I don't know how it will affect when we take this stabilizer off. They do have a stabilizer that's cutaway, and if you don't have as close of a stitch line, you might have to use the cutaway where you just cut it really, really close to that sewn line. But for this purpose with the satin stitch or really, really close stitching line, I'm going to show you once you were to finish sewing this, what that's going to look like. So to spare you all from just watching me sew this, which can take up to 20 minutes or more, I'm going to show you the finished one. And I tried leaving the stabilizer on inside. So once you're done sewing, some of it did come off already though, because it's just fun like that. So let me turn it inside out. Looks like this. This was my test. So what's nice is when the stitching's really close, you just kind of peel it up and it will automatically just tear away. Has anybody ever had those shirts that you buy and then the stabilizer's left in there and it just comes off? That's what this is. And the closer your stitches are, the easier it will tear off. Trim up any of your little edges. Now, if you were to have a stabilizer, then ThermOWeb has a stabilizer that is cutaway. If you were to have a cutaway stabilizer, or if you started tearing this and it was kind of pulling your stitches, and you did not, of course you don't want that. How to handle that is you get some small scissors, really sharp, and you just get right in there on that stitch line, and you would just cut this right off, which this really isn't going to help, but let me see if I can try not to tear it. It wants to just come right up, but you know, you would get in there and just really be very gentle to kind of pick it up so that it would come up. And there's the inside, all ready to be worn. So I'm going to place this right here, and if anybody has any questions, put them in the comments. I'm going to come back over to the computer. Like I said in the beginning, this tutorial was quick and easy, but yet a really neat gift idea for someone special in your life. It could be for anyone. You don't even have to use memory. This is just a tutorial in general. You can use other fabrics as well, but a real quick one. Kind of set this off. All right, well, I'm gonna stay on for just a couple more minutes. If anybody has any questions, if you have any suggestions or ideas for next month, or even actually really July, next month, I'm excited to introduce my daughter to you all. She's really excited and wants to help. We're gonna do a mosaic type of project, and she's really, really excited. She got really excited when she saw Lisa's son doing a project. She was like, I want to do that. So I said, okay, we'll get you in June. Yvonne, there is a list of the materials used. There is a link in the description of this video. It takes you to ThermOWeb's blog. I might be able to just copy and paste it in the comments for you. And all the supplies are listed there. And you'll be able to rewatch this video either here on Facebook, or I will have it uploaded to ThermOWeb's YouTube page by tomorrow. Let me see. Oh, she got it before I got there. Thank you, Dawn. like I said, short and sweet. I'm going to shut down or end the video here in just a minute, unless there are any other questions. You can always refer back to the replay and make comment. You can also comment on the YouTube video. I check those regularly for the comments to see if any questions need to be answered. So, all right. Well, I'll see you all next month, and happy sewing. Bye.